Hello, people. Welcome to Main Event Boxing Talk, and I've got my co-host with me, Spencer, and John should be with us pretty soon. How are you?
I'm all right, and yourself?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. Welcome back.
No doubt, no doubt.
Okay, let's start things off. Bob Aram says Terence Crawford will return this fall. Talks a short list of opponents. Give us your thoughts on this, please.
From the opponents that he picked, because I think he said Kell Brook, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, and I think Ugas. Was it Sean Porter?
Never look.
I think it was Sean Porter was one of the four. But Ugas, I know, was Ugas, Pacquiao, and Kell Brook. I think it's going to be Kell Brook, if anybody. Somehow, since Eddie Hearn is doing that Fight Allen or something, maybe he could get the fight on Fight Allen.
Okay.
But it's interesting because on the next topic, right? Terence Crawford is saying that he's not going to fight. What did he say? He's not going to rush the fight. He'll sit out the rest of the year if he got to
take a pay cut. Yeah, that's not what I want to hear. Shouldn't he be just getting out fighting anyone just to keep himself active? That's completely the wrong attitude of a champion.
Well, like I said, I don't know the particulars because before he was asking for his money in advance if he was to fight without fans. So maybe he's willing to take the pay cut because they're not willing to pay him his money. Because he had already said that he's like, you know, I already went through the fighting for a little bit of money and all of this other stuff. And now you want me to fight for a little bit of money again. And then you're going to try to have me like, no, I get guaranteed money. Give me my money, guaranteed. You guys still getting the same amount of money.
I understand that. But at the same time, you've got people like Shakur Stevenson. I know Shakur Stevenson isn't the star he's going to be yet, but I think it makes sense just to go out and keep yourself active, even if it's against a low-level opponent. You know?
But Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford are in totally different points in their career.
Oh, I know that, yeah. But what I'm saying is I think Crawford, he's in the prime of his career now. You know, he should be well ahead of where he is now, shouldn't he, in terms of marketability and what he's achieved.
He'll fight if they give him the money that he's been getting.
In this current climate in the boxing world, things have got to change. People are not going to get the paydays they got 4 or 5 years ago. It's just not possible in the current climate. You know,
listen,
be grateful.
If the networks are still paying the promoters the same amount of money that they've been paying them, why should the boxers take a pay cut? If the promoters are still getting paid.
Because of the economic crisis with the pandemic where thousands of people are dying.
The promoters are still they're not taking a pay cut. So why should the boxers? They're the ones actually fighting.
Because the promoters keep the show running, don't they? They're the ones that the promoters, there is no show. You know,
I'm going to agree to disagree.
That's your opinion. That's
I don't think if the promoters is taking a pay cut, then cool. The boxers should take a pay cut. But if the promoters is getting the same amount of money and the networks is getting the same amount of money, then why should the boxers take less?
The promoters have all the power. They always have to, and they always will. That's just boxing.
They don't have the power if they can't make money off of him if he don't fight.
If Terence Crawford wants to start his own outfit up, like David Haye did, he's welcome to do it. If he wants to do that, you know. You know, Top Rank, they've done a good job with him. They built him up from nothing into the star that he is today, you know.
I mean, he actually did the work. They didn't do it all on their own. He had to actually win the fights.
Well, I have a different opinion to you, my friend. Right. Right.
Oh, you think that it was all Top Rank? It was nothing that Terence Crawford
did? No, obviously he was in the ring getting hit. Yeah, obviously he did all the work in the ring. But I'm saying it also is hit behind each great fighter is a great promotional company, right?
Well,
that's why
perhaps. Because Andre Ward's promotional company could be questioned, and he was a
that was a joke. That's a complete joke.
So not really always.
Anthony Joshua is the exception, and you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a break now.
Right.
They did. Y'all Brits are getting on AJ because he said support black businesses.
No. I'm not. Other people are. But
No,
you know,
not you specifically, but you know, a lot of Brits is getting on a Tyson Fury coming out. What we on next? What's the next topic? I don't want to go.
Ryan Garcia is out. Virgil Ortiz to headline on July the 4th on the Golden Boy Cup.
Yo, listen, I just seen this tweet, and I don't know if we want to talk about it.
Yeah, we can do that now if you want. What is it about?
Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz, you know, he the champ at 130.
Is he the guy that beat? Who did he beat? I can't remember.
He the one that beat Farmer, right? Farmer got a rematch.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
But Jojo Diaz got a mandatory. So but Jojo Diaz want to fight his mandatory instead of fighting Farmer.
Yeah.
But Farmer's like, no, I want you to fight me, and if you don't, I'm gonna sue you. So we'll see what happens with that.
For me, Tevin Farmer's one of the luckiest fighters in that division. He's one of the luckiest fighters to ever won a world title, in my opinion, with his talent level. You know, he can thank his lucky stars he had a good promoter. Otherwise, there's no way he would have won it.
He's lucky that none of the other people wanted to is that next? He's lucky none of the other people wanted to really be bothered with him at the moment. Because if they was looking at his belt, all of the champs at 130 could beat him, in my opinion.
Well, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter.
No, but he's just right. But I think he was the weakest out of the champs at 130. Like I think Herring could beat him. I think Burchelt may be able to beat him. Tank, I think, could beat him. Well, Tank ain't there no more, but he was at the time when he was champ. And who won after that? Maybe Leo Santa Cruz would be a good fight for him. Yeah, only because he'll be the bigger guy versus Leo.
I could see that. Could definitely see that. Let me see what else is. Yeah, we're talking about that Virgil Ortiz thing.
Yeah, he's I think he didn't want to fight that fight on the 4th of July, so Golden Boy is kind of like not. It seems like they sideways kind of threatening them that they're gonna start working with their other fighters and not pay so much attention to Ryan.
Yeah.
What's it called? Jamel Charlo sent him a tweet. Ryan Garcia was saying that you know, you need to come work with Al Heyman because Al Heyman to get him money and get him the fights and stuff that he want.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting because if he did sign with Al, he could fight. He could be on the path to fighting Tank Davis.
You know, Tank Davis, how much marketability has he got now, really? Because I don't hear too much about him anymore, and if I do, it's never anything good. I mean, how good is Tank Davis really? I've always wondered.
Well, number one, he's still kind of young. He's still like 23, I think, 22, 23. Yeah. So he's still kind of young. He's in a kind of a good division. You know, they got a couple of names in there: Lomachenko, Haney, Luke Campbell, Teofimo Lopez. So he's around all of those guys' rivals. You know, he's around like they're his competition. So, but
when I look at him and I see him, it's like he's done. He's not really going anywhere, is he? You know, he's won world titles and stuff, but it's not like he's. I mean, he's only been a pro for 3 years, hasn't he? So I guess he's not going to move too quickly.
I mean, I don't know what people want. He beat the people that was in front of him. He beat some good names. He beat Gamboa. He beat
Pedraza.
Pedraza. He beat who's that other dude he beat? I forgot the other dude's name right now.
But it's like people are expecting too much from him too soon. That's the impression I get.
That's because That's because he's with Floyd Mayweather and they want him to be Floyd Mayweather. He's
But
not
he's never
Floyd
going to be.
Mayweather.
This is the whole thing. He's never going to.
Right, but they trying to compare him. They saying he's not good because they're comparing him to Floyd.
You can't compare him to Floyd because there is no comparison.
Right. So, like, I don't understand. A lot of people are doing it based on that. Like, they're giving him an unfair equivalent. Like, he's not doing anything any other fighter in that division has done or about the same. Devin Haney got a title. He didn't really beat anybody to get the title. Lomachenko beat a guy, and Tank Davis beat that guy better than Lomachenko beat him. So, you know, like, the guy that I like is Teofimo Lopez. Although,
I keep hearing a lot about him, and it's like, you know, he's good. He beat, is it Isaac Dogbo he beat?
He beat Comey, Richard Comey.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, but I think again people are expecting too much too soon. He wouldn't beat Lomachenko right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen a few things in Lomachenko in the past couple of fights. Well, in the Campbell fight, in the Pedraza fight a little bit, in the Linares fight. Like, he gets hit a lot at that division. And if he gets hit by guys that actually hit harder than those guys, who knows? Linares put him down on his butt. So, and Linares had a lot of miles on his, you know, had a lot of miles under him. So,
yeah,
if Teo puts him down, Teo might be energetic enough to keep the pressure on him. I won't put any. I would, if I was to have to place a bet, I would place my bet on Lomachenko. But I'm not, like, it ain't out of the realm of possibility. I can see a path to Teofimo beating Lomachenko. I doubt that happens, but I could see it happen. If that makes sense. I don't know if you like. I could see how he could win. I could see how he could beat him. I don't think he will, but I could see how he can.
It's a strange one, isn't it? I think
same
it's
thing with what's it called? I think the same thing with Tank and Devin Haney. I think a lot of those guys, it's a little bit different style than Lomachenko has been facing.
Yeah.
You know, he's been facing, like, the past couple of fights, he's been facing a lot of straight up and down guys. They've been standing right in front of him, and they're going to be right there for him to hit.
Yeah.
And he could be able to, you know, do the angles that he does. Teo, not so. Teo and, well, Tank be there in front for him to hit.
Yeah.
But Teo and Haney is a little bit more mobile when they fight.
Devin Haney is a fighter who, to me, is only going to get better as the years roll on. I've been impressed by him, but out of all the prospects that I've seen, I think Shakur Stevenson is the most impressive I've seen out of all of them so far.
Let me correct you on the term, because they're not prospects. He's a champion.
I still class him as a prospect, a guy who's got a belt 2 or 3 years before he's even ready to be a champion. That is the situation Stevenson's in. He's learning with a belt.
There's a lot of people that's like that, you know, but yeah.
But I call it belt learning, should we say. It's like Joseph Parker was a belt learner. Same way Anthony Joshua was, right? They had opportunities to be well taught. I mean, I think Stevenson has been pushed, would you say he's been pushed a little bit too quickly? Being given a belt like that?
I think he could beat Josh Warrington if you ask me, but
I have a possibility he could, but he's only had 14 fights. People need to, you know, he needs more fights. But his last performance was good, but he should have got rid of that guy 2 or 3 rounds.
He got a lot more fights than him, but the guys that Josh Warrington has been facing aren't really on a. He fought Carl Frampton. I'm gonna give him props with Carl Frampton. So I'm not going to diminish that
world-class fighters.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to diminish that win. But other than Carl Frampton, and you can argue that Carl Frampton might have been trying to stay at a weight he shouldn't have been, or whatever, you know, like.
Lee Selby was a very good fighter, and Kid Galahad, they're all world-class fighters.
Those are two close fights. He didn't whitewash those guys. No. Shakur Stevenson is beating the hell out of his competition.
Yeah, but I don't think Shakur Stevenson could do that to Frampton right now. Not right now. In a year's time, maybe, not right now.
Yeah, like the one that I was impressed with, not this last one, because I didn't expect too much. I expected Shakur to do this anyway, is when he fought, I think it was Diaz, when Shakur Stevenson beat Diaz. I did not expect him to do what he did to Diaz the way he did it.
Yeah.
And I was really, because Diaz was a former title contender, so yeah, I was really, really impressed with that. That's what made me start like saying like this guy might be ahead of where I thought he would be. Because I was on some, you know, like I didn't want him to, when he fought Diaz, I thought that was too soon. But then he impressed and he looked really great. And then he beat the other dude, Joet Gonzalez. Like he beating these guys badly.
Yeah, but when he won his world title, he beat his sister's boyfriend for a world title.
Joet Gonzalez, that's who it was. And he was an undefeated fighter.
But we all knew he wasn't as good as Stevenson. We all knew that. It was obvious.
No, but you, listen. The fact, I mean, I guess maybe because it was his girl's brother, but he ain't want to beat him up too badly. But he beat him up. It was without question, no competition. Yeah. And he was an undefeated fighter. Much like the way I would have classed him like I classed Kid Galahad.
Kid Galahad's been around a long time. He's been around a hell of a long time. Should have been world champion 3 or 4 years ago.
How many fights did Kid have?
He's at about 30 fights. He's about 28.
And José Gonzalez had like 20-something fights when they fought.
Yeah. But the difference is Kid Galahad is about 2 or 3 years behind what he should be, because when he was in a different weight division, he was British, Commonwealth, and European champion. Ever since he got that shot at Josh Warrington, it's like I expected him to win a belt like 3 or 4 years ago, the same time as Kell Brook won it. But it just never came. It just never came off.
He what's it called though? He did have a good fight versus Josh. That was a very close fight. Some people think he won.
Yeah. But anyway, we must move on.
All right.
In the next article, this was taken from Boxing News 24. Usyk's promoter reacts to Arum saying he should fight White to prove his mandatory status. What? Absolute nonsense, in my view.
I've said this before. First of all, Eddie Hearn is in a better position. He could be like, you know what? We're gonna make it so that Fury gotta fight White, and we can have AJ fight Usyk, right? If you don't make our terms the way we want to. If he want to drop the belt, he could drop the belt, and AJ could still fight Usyk. And then White have a belt, and then White versus AJ could be for the undisputed. Like, I don't think Bob Arum is in a position to really say anything, because after Wilder, he has to hope he could come to terms with Eddie Hearn and them to fight AJ. That ain't a guarantee. If they're gonna try to like be too greedy with the terms or whatever.
So anyway, Dillian, are you still there?
Yeah.
Dillian White is the WBC interim champion. He's also the mandatory. Obviously, he was skipped over with Tyson Fury, but what they said is the WBC have said that that the chances are they're likely going to make. Do you remember when I said this months ago that they would make Tyson Fury like the franchise champion?
You said Wilder, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same situation. They'll make him franchise champion, and then they'll
listen. At the time that happened, Wilder said no, he didn't want to be it. So
exactly,
and he, and that's what I was going off him saying, nah, he ain't want to do it. Which essentially I wasn't wrong, but Arum is pushing for this franchise belt. It's so funny to see the Fury fans, because a lot of Fury fans don't like Canelo, right?
Yeah. But what you've got to remember is that Dillian White could be given a belt and he'll be a world champion. He can defend it, and then he doesn't have to moan anymore. But he's saying he doesn't want to be given the belt. He's saying he'd rather get his ass whipped. Then, I mean, wouldn't you be happy to be given a world title? I know I would.
I know this. If he wants, he could have the title. If they make, Fury the franchise, he could become the champ, and then he could fight Wilder.
Or he could go straight into a fight with the winner of Joshua Wilder. I mean, I'm thinking Wilder doesn't deserve a title shot.
They're going to have two fights, so it would be a long wait for him.
So he should take the belt. But I saw an article that me and Tom talked about yesterday. Apparently, Dillian White suing the WBC. What a double! That's got to be the biggest dumbass move.
Ain't that the next one?
Let me have a look. But I mean, Usyk is a WBO mandatory. Why have a dangerous fight with White? I do believe that Usyk would beat White, yeah, but that's beside the point.
Listen, it makes no sense from Usyk or White's point of view to do it. It makes no sense.
It's too risky. It's too risky. And it'll.
Why fight that guy?
Sorry?
So, why fight that guy when I could fight AJ for millions?
Exactly. But what I'm looking at here is Usyk. I reckon Usyk is the biggest threat to Anthony Joshua. If you take out Wilder and leave Fury in there, I think he's the biggest. I actually believe Usyk could beat Joshua. Maybe I'm mad saying that, but I believe he could.
No, listen, I think Usyk, if they were similarly matched in size, possible. If Usyk was a heavyweight longer, possible. But right now, I think AJ beats up Usyk. Usyk gets hit a lot.
I know he does, yeah. But I think Usyk
hit a lot by AJ. AJ hits hard.
He does, we know. But what I'm saying is, I think
Usyk got hit with anybody as hard as AJ hit.
I think Usyk could maneuver around him. I think Usyk will find a way. He'll change his style so that he doesn't get hit as much. He'll go on the run for 12 rounds.
I mean, listen,
I think that's enough to beat Joshua.
If he was to try to do some Roy Jones stuff and come in a fight where he could move like Roy Jones as a heavyweight, then maybe. But Joshua know how to move on his feet.
So do you think Usyk is more like David Haye? He's just too small and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, don't it? But I think with Usyk, people like me, we're getting too excited about it.
See, it wouldn't be a case of him, with Holyfield, because Holyfield at that time, he wasn't. There was tall guys in Bo and Lewis, but it wasn't like
Holyfield was a big man, but Usyk's a big man. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's
Tyson was shorter than Holyfield. Michael Moore and Holyfield was close in height, So,
but David Haye since Usyk, David Haye had more power than Usyk, but not the skill set.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Okay, we'll move on. Billy Joe Saunders. Sorry.
It's about Dillian White suing.
No, there's one about Billy Joe Saunders says Ireland should appreciate reported mob boss Daniel Kinnican. I don't know what this is about.
Yeah, I put that up because I heard his name when Fury said something, and then they was going crazy in the British news talking about Fury has ties with a gangster or something, and that he put the AJ Fury fight together, or he got parts of it. And then I seen this, that he's talking with him too. I'm like, okay.
What the hell is SB Nation? I've seen that. Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to the next thing. Apparently, Dillian White is starting legal proceedings against the WBC, which in my opinion is a bad move. Because he'll never get his chance to be world champion. He's got the chance to be given a world title belt. You don't turn that down, do you?
Yeah, they got a case for him. As far as past deeds, they gave him a shot, and he refused the shots they gave him. so he don't really have a strong case in court. I think it's just a scare tactic to make him like to make sure that like he gets a big
Yeah.
fight if AJ and
But
Fury fight after
I'm
Wilder.
expecting in the next 3 or 4 weeks the WBC to give him the belt. You know, to upgrade him to the full world champion.
That could happen too.
It's gonna happen.
And then he gets. I gotta see who's the rankings.
Yeah, they'll give him the belt. They're not gonna. He's not gonna fight Wilder.
The second fight would be for a title fight. Would be for.
But he's not gonna fight Wilder. I don't think he wants that fight. Not really. And I also don't think Wilder's in the right place to take that fight right now.
Wilder gonna fight Fury. If Wilder lose, then he could fight White after that. White in the meantime, while Wilder fights Fury, White could fight Povetkin like he was supposed to.
for the full world title. But I think they'll give him the belt rather than him fight Povetkin. But I know Dillian Whyte. The way I know Dillian Whyte is he wants to win that belt the proper way, not
they might give him the belt and make him fight Povetkin as his mandatory.
But what they could do is they could say, right, here's the vacant world title belt. You're fighting Povetkin for the vacant WBC belt. That would be better, wouldn't it? Rather than him going into it as champion.
I mean, I guess, but they could appease him and just let him have the belt. And if
but the way I look at it is, if you go into a fight, if I'm a fighter, I'd much rather go in the ring and fight for a vacant title than be given it. You know, because then that way you feel like you've achieved something.
I wouldn't nitpick over that. It's essentially the same thing. If it's a vacant title or I have the belt and I defend it, it's still me winning and it'll be the same thing. I won that fight and I'm really the champ now.
But I think Povetkin would be a perfect opponent for him. You know, then we can see where he is. We know he's a good fighter, but I think he would beat Povetkin.
Yeah.
Or Michael Hunter would be perfect for that fight. Because then we could see a big upset.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. Frank Warren blames Eddie Hearn for Dillian Whyte situation. What? Load of nonsense. What do you think?
Yeah. Frank Warren popping stuff and was like, if Dillian Whyte was his fighter, he would have already fought for a world title.
Crazy. Well, if you look at it, this is public knowledge that Frank Queensbury Promotions are in the red. They're heavily in debt. All he's got is Daniel Dubois. That's it. And Tyson Fury. That's it.
Joe Joyce.
And his company, if you look at where his company was in the early 2000s, he was the biggest promoter in Britain for like 10 or 12 years.
He got Joe Joyce. He got Josh Warrington.
They're good fighters. No, Josh Warrington has left. Josh Warrington's gone back to Eddie, I believe. No, I don't think I meant that.
I thought he was with Frank, and that's the reason why they was trying to set up the Shakur Stevenson fight, because Frank and Bob is
he's
like
gone back to Frank now, I think. Eddie Hearn was never that keen on Josh. You know, he wasn't bothered if he stayed or went.
He ain't have a lot of fighters at that division, so he probably couldn't get him a lot of fights.
But he chose to keep Scott Quigg over Josh Warrington.
Hey. Anyway, what's next?
We'll move on to the next one. Joe Joyce said he's ready to prove doubters all wrong in a slugfest. What do you think of Joe Joyce and his slow mechanical moving body?
Yeah, I would like to see this fight because Joe Joyce hasn't fought in a minute with the thing. I don't know if he was able to spar because in the UK, they had barred sparring for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. He's a little bit older, how much more time it would take him to get back into like fight ready mode.
Not too long. I mean, he's 34. He's still got a good 3 or 4 years left. But he hasn't achieved the things he's meant to have achieved by now. He's meant to be further along than what he is. Remember when he turned pro, was it 3 years ago? He signed with David Haye. He started to win fights. He beat, what's his name, Stiverne, and then Jennings. And then after that, he never did anything. It's like he's just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to fight Dubois before the pandemic, so hopefully that fight happens and we can see who wins. And then I'll pass my judgment then. I think Dubois, he's still young, so I'm not expecting too much. If he loses, you know, he's still got his whole career ahead of him. He would have lost to a more experienced guy that was just a little bit more further along than him.
Yeah, but I mean, Joyce is very experienced amateur. You know, he's a good fighter. But I just feel that at this point he might have a little bit too much for Dubois. I don't think Dubois can take somebody coming full steam at him. And you know the way Joyce fights, he just comes forwards and he throws a punch. He doesn't stop. He'll keep walking until you hit him in the face. He's got no defence. Yeah. It just depends. Right, we'll move on to our final thing then. What's this? Eubank Jr. would never have boxed if it wasn't for Lennox Lewis convincing Eubank Sr. What do you make of this?
It's up to you guys. That was for you really to speak on, because you kind of knew the scene more. Well, it's more. Well, you didn't really follow boxing back then.
Not in like '97. No, not really. Not until like 2002.
So, but Chris Eubank is what? How old is Chris Eubank?
Junior?
Yeah.
I think he's 30 now.
So that was 16 years ago. That was still like 2000. That was 2004 then.
So with Eubank Jr., for me, for you, has he achieved what he's supposed to achieve? Because for me, he could have been a world champion a long time ago if he'd had the right management. I think all it is because he keeps going to these different promoters and having to rebuild his career.
If you let him and his pops tell it, he's already been a world champ a couple of times. So,
he's linked
he had the IBO and the WBA junior belt. So
he's won the WBA interim world titles twice, a two-time IBO super middleweight champion. If he'd stuck with Eddie Hearn, he would have been a world champion 3-4 years ago. And he'd probably be further along than what he is.
Versus who?
I don't know. He would have beaten like that John Ryder guy. I believe he's better than John Ryder.
Is that who Callum Smith beat to win his title?
Yeah. I think Eubank's got more talent than him. Not that much more, but he's got a bit more.
I mean,
Ryder's a good fighter, but I think Eubank, I think he's underachieved in his career, myself.
They wanted to do him and his pops thought they wanted to do, being that his pops was in the industry, kind of knew ahead of time. He thought he was steering his son right.
No, but he wasn't. He was doing it wrong the whole time. Because
think about it, he wanted to sacrifice Eubank to fight Triple G. Eubank wouldn't have beat Triple G in that fight.
Which would have wrecked his career even more. I'm glad he didn't take that fight because he would have annihilated.
Listen, Eddie Hearn wanted him to fight him, though. So if he would have been with Eddie Hearn would have essentially wrecked his career.
The same way he did to Kell Brook.
Right. And that was, in my opinion, that was a forced hand on him. Kell Brook should have said, nah, man, because Kell Brook was about to fight Jesse Vargas in a unification.
Yeah.
But he declined and decided to fight Triple G. Jesse Vargas wound up fighting Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao got that title. If Kell Brook would have fought Jesse Vargas for the 2 belts, then he might have been able to get a Pacquiao fight right after that.
Okay. I have another thing, 2 more things to discuss. One more thing is, did you watch Kevin Johnson against Marius Wack? That's all.
You said you just what?
Did you watch Marius Wack against Kevin Johnson?
When?
It was on Friday. I posted it. The fight was on like Saturday night.
I thought there was good. No, I didn't see that one. I knew he fought. I knew Wack was fighting. They have a fight on ESPN right now. Josh Greer.
It was boring because all Kevin Johnson was doing what he normally does. He goes in his Philly shell and just lets people hit him. That's all it was. And Marius Wack was moving about 2 miles an hour, hitting him. And Wack, I think Kevin Johnson needs to step away, or if not, fight at a much lower level.
Let me find out Wack trying to get a fight against Manuel Charr. Anyway,
he beat Manuel Charr, wouldn't he? Surely.
We finished with the thing?
Sorry?
We covered all the topics?
We're just covering topics. We're going to cover the Tyson Fury thing next. But you can see what it says about Marius. Where did you find that?
I didn't hear you.
Marius Wack to fight Manuel Charr.
Yeah, I was saying I that'd be funny if they try to set that up. Anyway, what you saying about Tyson Fury?
I'll go to that in a minute. So, do you think that would be hilarious if Marius Wack won a world title?
Yeah, it would be funny.
Let me see if that's true.
Or a sad state of boxing.
Oh dear, to fight. I mean, Manuel Charr is pretty terrible, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let me just see if that's right. Fight Charr. No. Right, so next it's been said, where is it? That AJ and Tyson Fury have agreed a fight to fight each other, supposedly.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that, but I don't know if it's going to happen with the Usyk and the White. I don't know how that's going to happen with all the belts. Again, like you said, they might just give Fury the franchise. That kind of covers that. But then what happens with Usyk? Would Usyk be willing to do that? If Usyk gets to fight White for a title, then maybe.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. I've seen something which is news. Obviously, pay-per-views are expensive in America, aren't they? Like $80 or something stupid.
Yeah.
Over here, it says they're thinking of making the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight £50. That's like double the price of what I normally pay, which is about $30. I'm not paying £50 for that. That's like $55.
That's like $70.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? I'm not paying it. I don't mind paying 25, but 50 is just too much.
Well, I'm watching in the movie theater if they're showing it.
I mean, I don't have the option. If I had the option, I would.
Since there's going to be two Brits and at about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, it's going to be like $5. So,
I mean, I think it's a sad state of affairs. £50, I could just watch the fight on YouTube the next day. I want to see this fight, but I'm not paying that. There's a price I won't pay. I know as a real boxing fan, I should pay for it, but I'm not paying that.
Oh,
right. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Nah, that's it. Listen, I got to go anyway. So,
all right. Thanks for coming on.
No doubt. Next time.